Hi there, beautiful thrivers. Welcome back to another video with Thriving in Chaos. Today we're going to be doing my WTF Wednesday on a Friday. That is weekly tracking of finances. So thank you guys for being here. Click that subscribe button, like the video, and let's go. Hi everyone, I hope you guys are doing good. Finally, this is the last video I needed to do to catch up and be completely caught up since I took last week off from being super sick. So I'm very happy. I'm going to enjoy this weekend knowing I'm all caught up. It's just a really good feeling. But before we get started with it, let's go ahead and grab today's prompt card. If you're new to my videos, this is a prompt card. It's basically a conversation starter, so I'll ask and answer the question on the card in this video, and you guys can put your answers in the comments below. Just a little something to help us get to know each other better. So today's prompt card is, do you know so-and-so? How did you hear about this event? What did you notice first about me? Okay. Okay. All of these are like local, like if we are together in person, would you ever dance on top of this bar? Would you ever dance on top of a bar, by the way? I would not. If you could spend an entire day with a family member, who would it be and why? Oh my gosh. That's rude. I'm not answering that. No. I love all of my family equally. Okay, what was the first job you ever had? Let's do this one. My first job was McDonald's. I mean, technically. I had other jobs just growing up. I took on little babysitting jobs and stuff like that so I could earn money as a teenager. But my first real job where I got a paycheck from a company was McDonald's. It lasted for the entire summer, and then that was that. It was all right. What about you guys? What was the very first job you ever had? Let me know in the comments below. Boy, we are going to run out of those quickly if I have to keep going through them like that. All right, so it is WTF Wednesday time. We're going to be working on the week of the 31st through the 6th. And I did not do lines because I did not have a ruler, but I do have a little ruler here. It's short. So let me do these lines really quick. I'll do it off camera. I forgot to do it before starting the video, but I'll do this really quick and we'll come back. I have got to get a new ruler. Okay, so we're going to be working with the week, the 31st through the 6th. I'm going to keep it from my Wednesday to Wednesday like I usually do, so I'm not going to do Thursday and Friday purchases. That'll be on next Wednesday's video. This is just to catch up. If this is the first time ever watching one of my WTF Wednesday videos, this is basically a weekly check-in. All I'm doing is I'm going through every purchase that we've made from our bank account using our debit card, every purchase that we've made on our credit card, which is gas purchases only, every purchase we made via cash, and all the bills that come out. It is basically a full, complete check-in of all the ways and methods that we spend money. I do this weekly so that I can make sure that I'm replacing money back into my bank account because we have an account buffer that allows me to make these purchases. And then we just replace that money that we saved in our envelopes to replace that account buffer for the new week. So obviously I am behind, but luckily we didn't do too many purchases. Me being sick definitely helped, and hubby didn't go too overboard. He did do a lot of grocery shopping, and we did do like 2 eat outs during that time as well. So it does add up because this is a family of 5, so it does get costly, but it is what it is. So I will be writing those grocery purchases down, but we won't need to have to take anything from any envelopes because I did leave that money in the bank account, but I do want to account for that spending. So that's basically what we're going to be doing today. If you have any questions, of course, you can put it down in the comments below, but I think it's pretty straightforward, at least to me it is. So let's begin. I'm going to use my black pen. I use the Frixion Clicker Erasable Pens from Pilot. I got these on Amazon, but I've seen them in plenty of stores. Okay, I'm not sponsored, by the way. It's just I get those questions all the time, especially because it is erasable. So that's what I'm using. We didn't have any purchases on the 31st, luckily. But I am going to go ahead and start with the grocery purchases that my hubby did make. So the first one being $339. He did a full, not a full, but like a good week's worth of grocery haul on this. And then he ended up going back and getting another haul of specific foods because there was a meal that he wanted to try on the new Blackstone that he got for his birthday / Christmas. And so he spent a little extra on, I mean, a lot extra. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He did his thing. I was sick. I was out. I wasn't going to complain. All right, so that is the first one. It's $3.39 rounded up. It's actually $3.38.50. So that is 50 cents that we get to put towards our Save the Change challenge, which is something that I do to just help slowly build our account buffer without really doing anything at all, just rounding up our purchases. The next one I'm going to do is the next grocery haul. I'm not exactly sure. I think it was on the 6th, which is Tuesday. So I'll go ahead and put it down here, even though I'm not going in order, but I do want to get these purchases out of the way. So this was $2.53 rounded up, and it was $2.55 or $2.52.55. So that is 45 cents that we get to put towards our Save the Change. Then we did have the 2 eat outs. The first one was on this day. Let's see. It was for $1.29. So I'm still going to take this, or not. I'm not taking it from anywhere, but it's considered grocery, and that was $1.29 rounded up, and the cost was minus $128.32. So 68 cents we're putting towards our Save the Change challenge there. And then the last eat out was probably this day. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. And it was $129. And the thing is I say I can't tell you because I was out of it. There's a lot I don't remember because I was sleeping most of the days away. I was very, very out of it. So it could have been any of these days. I don't even really know. I know that it did have a date on there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's when it, actually happened. So this one was $128.95. So we're only putting 5 cents into our Save the Change challenge from that purchase. So that's the 4 purchases he made, the 2 big grocery hauls, and then the 2 eat outs, which actually happened to be about the same amount. Surprisingly. I guess that shows that's about how much we eat when we go out as a family of 5. All right, let's get to the other purchases that we will need to pull money from. Let's see. And it's all on these. We had the therapy for my daughter. This is actually going to be mental health, not therapy. And this is why I use erasable pens, because I do it quite often. So mental health. And that was $65. I'm a huge believer in therapy and mental health, especially for teenagers. So I have both my teenagers, which are 2 daughters. My son is actually in his 20s, but they both go to therapy once every other week. But for me, it's every week because they just take turns. So my daughter had her appointment on that day. And then also a gaming purchase came out. My hubby did a little bit of gaming while I was down and out, and that was $7. It was $6.99, so 1 cent for the change. So that'll do it for all of our bank spending. This is just debit card spending purchases. The next one I'm going to do, let's go with red, I guess. This is going to be the credit card purchases. Now, we have a credit card. Right now, we're only using it for gas purchases for my hubby, so when he gets gas, he uses that card to do so. Starting with the first, he got gas, and it was, you're going to hear my dogs bark, unfortunately, 43 rounded up, and it's 42.01. Every time, man, I swear. It is currently almost noon, and they have not barked once since I've been up at 7. Tell me why when I start filming, they start barking. I think it's, somebody did comment, they're just trying to get your attention because they hear you talking. I think you're right. All right, so that was the first gas purchase. The next gas purchase came out on the 4th, and that was for 41 rounded up, and it was 40.01, so 99 cents again. He was really struggling getting it on the dot there. And then on the 5th, he got gas again, and that was for $50. If you don't know, my hubby does a lot of traveling for his job, a lot, all over our state. So that is why you see a lot of gas purchases and why we started using the credit card for it. Because this is a great way to build our credit and to earn cash back, because it's one of those cash back credit cards. Last one on the 6th, and that was for 51 rounded up, and that was 99 cents. Yeah, he's been taking the truck, as you can see. Usually when he does the other car, that's a lot cheaper. So I did tell him, you know, you might want to consider going back to the car because this is getting expensive again. All right, so that is it for both our bank spending and our credit card spending. All right, so I have some categories here I want to write down. We have account buffer. That's if we can't or we didn't have the money, and I have to use the account buffer, which I never want to do if I can help it. Then we're going to be tracking, of course, our bank spending. That's our debit card. Our credit card spending. Our cash spending, which we'll get to in a bit. And then, of course, we want that total for our save the change. Sorry, my handwriting's messy. I'm just trying to get through this quickly. All right, so I think that's everything I need to write down right now. So I'm going to use some of these squares and make some little check boxes for myself, set it all up, and then we will get started unstuffing some envelopes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and check off all of these groceries because, like I said, I just left the money in the account before I cash stuffed, so I don't need to pay it back. It's already been paid back. All right, let's start with gas, I guess, since it is right here. We have some gas purchases. We need to calculate up how much that is actually. So we have 43, 41, 50, and 51. So that's a total of 135. Is that right? That doesn't feel right. 43, 41, 50, and 51. 185. Okay, that feels a little bit better. So 185, I don't know why I put this split here. Anyway, we need to take 185, so that's 150, 170, 180, and 185. And this is why I wanted the small denominations in here. So 51, 50, 70, 85. All right, so that takes care of all the gas purchases. Nice. And that leaves 50, 100, 20, 40, 50. So 150, I sure hope he doesn't go crazy on the gas. All right, anything else in here? I don't, yeah, gaming. Gaming. All right, so hubby spent $7. So 5, 6, and 7 for gaming. That leaves 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and $18 there. And then the last one is mental health, which is in a different binder called life maintenance. So in my mental health, we're taking 65, 50, 60, and 5. And that leaves 51, 50, 210, 20, 30, 45, 55, 60. So 260. And that takes care of that. And that takes care of all of our things. Super easy today. We did have some purchases here and in this one. So, and hubby wrote it on that side. All right, so in this one, I'm going to put it on this side for him. We don't need the date. And it was 40, my mother-in-law's birthday. So for this particular week, I'm assuming it was only 40 because that's all he wrote. I didn't do any purchases. I slept through life. And then this one was 32. Couldn't tell you what that's for. Not even a little bit. So 72 is what we've got going on in cash spending this past week. All right, and then for bank spending, we can go ahead and add those up. So let me do that. We had 339, 129, 129, 253, 65, and 7. So for bank spending, we spent $922. Oh my gosh, they are testing my nerves today. Testing my nerves. Which means we didn't take anything from account buffer. Let's go ahead and do our save the change. All right, so we are adding $4.66 to our account buffer this week. Okay, let's do our calculations of how much we spent in total this week in all the ways. So we had 922 in bank spending, 185 in credit card spending, and nope, not 92, 72 in cash spending. So for a total of $1,179 this week. That's what we spent. Let me pop these back into where they go. And now I'm going to do one last thing, is transfer these numbers right here into my main budget book so that I can put this book away for half a week. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. That is, we're working on February, right? Yep. And I didn't do lines in this either. Okay, let me do quick lines really quick. Lines are done, and then I just did a shorthand here because, you know, writing and all. I'm just not about it right now. Okay, so let's transfer some of these numbers over. We have, for bank spending this week, $922, which is also our starting balance for the month. $185 for credit card. And now the bird is going. I just started my cycle today, guys, and if you know, you know. Patience is winning. $4.66 is our starting balance for the month of what we have saved in the way of change. All right, so now that I've gotten all of these transferred over, I'm going to put this here for next week, like a little bookmark. And then I'll close this up, put it on my shelf, and put it away for another week. All right, so the next portion of this is going to be about bills. What bills have come out? All of my bills are on auto pay, so they do come out on their own, which is nice. I don't have to worry about it, but let's go ahead and go through what has come out this past week. I'm just going to go in the order that they came out, starting with our first prime, which is $16.19. Our monthly bank fee came out for $5. Our gas came out for $166.30, so it definitely skyrocketed because it's cold. And then Netflix came out for $22.99. Our mortgage came out for $1,281.24. Our Spotify came out for $16.99. Hulu came out for $99.98. And last one, Studio Paint, came out for $8.99. And that'll do it for all the bills that have come out this week. And now we're going to move back over to February, my calendar spread, and we're going to put those in here. So let's put them in order that they are on here. Starting with gas, $166.30. For Netflix, $22.99. Amazon Prime, $16.19. Mortgage, $1,281.24. Spotify for $16.99. Hulu for $99.98. Bank fees for $5. Studio Paint for $8.99. And that will do it. So we do have a YouTube Premium that hasn't come out yet. Probably come out in the next day or two. Studio Paint came out a little bit early. Yeah. When things are on auto pay, I swear they don't come out the same time every month. You would think that they would, but they don't. They change so much. All right, so we're done with that. I didn't even get a chance to do any kind of videos written down here. I will write down that we did our WTF Friday here, and we did that. And I'll just write all that later. I don't want to waste you guys' time just trying to catch up with myself on things. All right, so we are done with this. Let's go ahead and put this money where it goes, which I just keep in here. We did have $185 that was our credit card. So let me grab that out. I keep credit cards separate from bank spending because I don't deposit this immediately. I let this build throughout the month as we spend on that credit card. And then at the end of the month, I take this out, and that's when I deposit it and pay off the credit card completely. So let me get a little sticky note here so we can keep track of it throughout the month. So this is for February, week 1, $185. All right, so that goes into this little envelope that's not labeled, and it just builds all month long. And then this actually goes back to the bank. So we're putting $50, $65, $70, $2 back in my bank. I probably won't. I'll just leave it in here until paycheck time next week because it's just a small amount. But that would go back into my bank for the account buffer. So that will do, which means we are done with this video. It's pretty short, sweet, and I like it that way. It's better than spending way too much money. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it gave a little bit of inspiration or motivation for you to keep tracking your expenses, especially if you're doing the cash budgeting system. It's so important. With that said, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you next week on Monday, probably. I don't really know. I have no idea what my video schedule is yet. So I will see you guys next week sometime. It'll either be Monday or Wednesday. I usually post Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So I'll see you guys then. Have a great weekend, guys. And as always, until next time, bye.